and I hope you guys are all surviving okay out there today. Now, yes, I know my background is a little bit different than normal, and that's because today we're going to be doing something a little bit more relaxed. And that is we're doing a Q&A today. Now, I wanted to do a Q&A with you guys just so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. And if you guys want to play along as well and comment down below your answers, then we all can get to know each other a little bit better. And the questions I have, I've just kind of grabbed from all different websites. I have a couple of the regular 21 questions in there too. So let's get started and get to know each other better. All right, I have my list. All right, you guys, so the first question is gonna be, what 3 words best describe me? Now, for myself, I think the best words that describe myself are funny. I make myself laugh a lot. I make other people laugh a lot. Hopefully they're laughing with me and not at me, because I know I can be a little strange too. Second one, intelligent. Now, I'm not trying to gloat. I don't think I'm the smartest person in the world, but I definitely have some common sense and intelligence. I can never get enough information and I'm constantly asking questions. And the third and final one is that I'm really fucking annoying sometimes. Now, I can talk a lot and I go on a lot of tangents and I don't know when to stop. On top of that, like I said, I ask a lot of questions and I make a lot of jokes. So everything kind of fits together in a happy little trifecta. Okay, so let's get on to the second one. All right, so the second question is, have you ever locked yourself out of your house? Now, I know this may seem like a boring question, but I have a fun story to tell you about this one. So obviously, yes, I have locked myself out of my house when I was a teenager, and it was actually my parents' house. Now, at the time, I was actually bringing a couple friends over to hang out. So me being the bright, wise teenager I was like, let's break in through a window, duh. So I proceeded to jump on top of our shed that is right underneath my parents' window. Now, that worked out, didn't fall through the roof, didn't die, but the next part is, I sneak up to their window and it ends up being unlocked. Amazing, everything's working out. But as me and my friends are jumping through the window, one of them catches on the curtain and rips the entire curtain rod down from my parents' window. So yes, I have been locked outside of my house, and yes, I've also broken into my house, and yes, I have also destroyed my parents' curtain rods while trying to break in.
Did not go well when they got home.
Let's move on. All right, the third question is, do you believe aliens exist? And the answer to that is yes, I do. I have always believed in aliens. When I was younger, I actually used to have an irrational fear of aliens, and I would stare out the window and imagine like aliens coming down the street and it being the end of the world. I don't know why I did that as a child. I was a weird child, but I had a fear of them. But growing up, now I just have an extreme fascination with aliens, and obviously watching Ancient Aliens, Giorgio, our boy out there, if you're an alien enthusiast, I just think there is no possible way that there's not another life form. Like, we are not the be-all to end-all. We are not the greatest species out there. And if we are, somebody needs to pray for us. But yes, I believe in aliens. So let's get on to number 4. So the next question, you guys, is what movie can you watch over and over again without getting freaking bored? And that movie for me is called True Romance. I don't know if any of you guys out there have ever watched it, but it is directed by Quentin Tarantino.
The guy who directed Pulp Fiction, if you do not know.
I am obsessed with any Quentin Tarantino movies, and True Romance just encapsulates everything that I love about his movies. It's really character driven, there's gore, but it just really adds to the movie. It doesn't take away and make you super like, no. On top of that, the movie just has a romance that wasn't really done in movies at the time. It's kind of tumultuous, kind of intense, but also amazing and super loving. But it basically is just their love knows no bounds and will get through anything. It is very iconic. I definitely suggest you guys should watch it. It is awesome. Quentin Tarantino is an amazing director, and a lot of you out there probably know that, but if you don't, watch this movie and you're gonna know. Let's get on to the next one. All right, so the next question is, how do you judge a person? So when I first meet people, the things I really look out for is if they're being disingenuous, if they seem like they're kind of making up a lot of stories about themselves or gassing themselves up to seem really great. And another thing is, I really don't like when people just constantly agree all the time to everything. If I meet somebody and they seem generally authentic, they're not boasting themselves up a lot, and they will disagree to some things and agree to some things, then most of the time I'm like, they're probably all right. And another thing is just how they basically treat anyone else, like waiters or animals or anybody who doesn't give real value to them is something I also look out for. So let's get on to the next one. So the next question is, what are you interested in that most people are not? Something that I'm interested in that most people aren't is doing a lot of stuff at home instead of going to salons. Now, a lot of people want everything to be perfect and they have all that money to spend, but I personally don't like spending like $200 to go to a salon just one time, and when I can do something at home and learn myself and then do it for free every other time. So basically, I just like to try everything I possibly can at home until I realize that it can't be done at home and you need to go to a freaking salon.
You psychopath.
All right, so let's get on to the next one. All right, so the next question is honestly one of my favorite questions to ask and be asked, and that is, what is your biggest pet peeve? I have a lot of pet peeves. I have quite a few pet peeves, but the ones that top the list are two specific things. And the first one is fucking lying. Now, I don't care what somebody has done or how bad it is. Whatever you have done, as long as you come to me and tell me and you are honest and, you know, have the balls to be honest, I will respect you and we will get through whatever you did. But if you fucking lie to me about it, I don't care how little the thing is, I will be more mad at you for lying than the actual thing. I just can't stand it. Just don't lie. If you can't just not do crappy things,
Maybe you should work on yourself.
and if you have to lie to people,
Well, maybe you should work on yourself.
my second pet peeve, this literally just makes me want to vomit. It gives me such a visceral anger. And that is when people make a lot of mouth sounds, especially chewing, especially drinking. It drives me insane. And so many people do it, and I always try and be polite because
I'm like, you know, they're enjoying their food, they're enjoying whatever, they're living their lives.
And I'm just a judgmental dick.
so I try and be like, okay, that's fine, but literally feels like nails on a chalkboard inside of my body, and it's ugh. Tell me down below if you can't stand that, or if you are the person who makes those sounds. So let's get on to the next one. So the next question is, what is the first movie you remember seeing? Now, the first movie I actually remember seeing was one I was absolutely fucking terrified of, and I think I was the only person who was terrified of this movie, and it is E.T. I don't know what it is, but I remember when I was watching it, I literally had to like hide under my mom, and I was just like, couldn't look at the screen. I don't know who thinks E.T. is cute, but he looked like just a fucking monster to me, so I was like, nuh-uh. Tell me down in the comments below, am I the only person who was scared of E.T. the first time they saw it? Maybe I was just too young to understand he was friendly. I don't know, but first movie I remember seeing was not an enjoyable memory. All right, let's get on to another one. So the next question is, do you have a birthmark? And I obviously put this in here because yes, I do. Now, I actually have it on my shoulder. Right there. Now, it's so funny because most people I know, even my really close friends, don't know I have that birthmark because I wear a lot of long sleeve shirts because I'm always fucking freezing. So it's so funny when I wear tank tops how people are like,
Wow, you have a birthmark?
like,
Yeah, I had no idea it was under there.
but yeah, a lot of people when they see it tell me that it looks like a man riding a horse and or a continent slash country. Tell me what you guys think it looks like. Tell me down in the comments below what you guys think that looks like. Maybe I got shot in the shoulder in another life. Who knows? It's all a mystery. Let's get on to the next one. The next question is, what's your favorite food? Now, this is a little bit difficult for me because I really like a lot of foods. So I'm just gonna base it on a general type of taste, and that is something really strong and almost stinky. I like black licorices, blue cheeses, pickled eggs, like all the shit that most people are like,
What the f is wrong with you? Why are you eating that?
I don't know why, I just love it. Most of my food preferences come from the fact that my family on one side is Danish, and they used to have so much black licorice, we used to have all the pickled stuff and all the stinky stuff, and I just grew up absolutely loving it, which is weird because I'm the only one out of my parents' kids who actually ended up liking that stuff, so I wonder why they didn't and I did. That's the real question. So let's get on to the next one. So the next question is, do I have any siblings? And yes, I do. I actually have 2 siblings. Now, the first one is my older brother, Brandon. He is 2 years older than me. And the other one is my twin sister, Chloe. And yes, we are twins. You heard that right. And we are identical, not fraternal. And identical means that instead of 2 different eggs that grew babies at the same time, you are 1 egg that split into 2 and then grew babies. I was born first, 2 minutes older.
Just saying.
On top of that, actually, when I was born, my sister actually had to give me blood. So there's a little bit of tip about that. Also, let me know if you guys want me to do like a twin question episode or something like that. Let me know down in the comments. So let's get on to the next one. All right, so the next one is, what drains your energy? Now for me, this is kind of a loaded question because a lot of things drain my energy. I actually suffer from anxiety, depression, and OCD. So as you can guess, a lot of the times I'm pretty emotionally and mentally exhausted. So a lot of things can. The number one thing that does drain me is being in social situations that I am uncomfortable with for long periods of time. Sometimes I will be uncomfortable with just hanging out with a friend I've known for a long time. Sometimes I can go in bigger crowds. But regardless of my mood, social situations in general are the thing that really make me exhausted. And I'll have to go days without doing anything to recuperate and feel like a normal human being again. And just when my OCD is really bad, it can be really, really draining to constantly do the routines or things like that. It really takes a lot out of you, and the people with OCD totally understand what I'm talking about. If you're having a bad OCD day, you're not doing anything else. You want to just go to bed and like not deal with it. Okay, so the next question is, what is your haunted house story? Now this question I actually have quite a few answers to, but I'm gonna get to my most scary story that I remember. So, when I was younger, I had a lot of paranormal activity. Now a few people in my family are kind of into the ghosts and metaphysical stuff like I am. When we were younger, our friends and things like that, we all used to be obsessed with ghosts. We would do Ouija boards.
Don't do Ouija boards.
I know they sell them at Toys R Us.
Don't do them, you're gonna open a demon dimension.
And kill us all, so please don't.
So when I was younger, my twin sister and I and our friends, we used to do a lot of seances and Ouija boards and stuff, which I swear to God brought demons into my friend's house. I swear. Okay, but the story that I remember that is the absolute freakiest story is me, my sister, and her friend were at my friend's house. And we were downstairs in the basement, which had been known to have some creepy-ass paranormal activity. Don't know why we were hanging out in there. Oh yeah, I do. We were hunting for ghosts like idiots. So we were down there and we got one of those like little McDonald's Spy Kids laser motion sensor things, and we put it at the bottom of the stairs. So after doing like a weird seance or whatever we did to like
Invoke the ghosts.
So before we go up the stairs, you know, we turn on the little motion sensor that is way behind us. We've already passed it. There's no way it's gonna get motion from us at all. So as we're almost up the stairs, the beeper goes off and we turn around, nothing's there. So we get a little scared and keep going. And my sister turns around and sees this white figure reaching out to try and grab me back down the stairs. And I felt something behind me and just like, we freaked out and ran up all the stairs. And to this day, we still do not know what that entity was gonna do if we did not run. Spooky shit. Another story, which actually happened like 6 years later when we were like 14, we were at the same house, and me, my sister, and the same friend, we were home alone, and we were in the kitchen, and we hear this knock, knock, knock on the windows, like not on the front door, on the big windows by the front door. She had sliding doors, like there was windows everywhere. We look outside, we don't see anything. Like,
That was weird.
like maybe a tree hit the window or something weird. So we're all right. And then we hear knock, knock, knock again. And it is super loud. Like there's no mistaking that someone is knocking on that window. So we're a little freaked out at this point. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's really creepy. So then we go into our computer rooms, go on Facebook, all that teenage like Omegle weird shit. So after a little while playing on the computers, we go back out and we see the furnace turn on, and it looks like somebody's coming through the glass doors. So we're like,
holy shit.
so we hide in the bathroom, and then we're like, okay, wait a while, come out, everything's fine, and then we all hide in the computer room. And at that point, I realized,
Oh shit.
I forgot
All of my sleepover stuff.
In the living room.
both of my sister and her friend, being too scared, stayed in the room, and I had to go by myself and go grab my sleepover stuff. Thanks, guys. And as I'm going out there, I hear the knock on the window again, but harder and louder, like knock, 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 like trying to get my attention. Look around, nobody outside at all where they could knock on the windows. Run in there, like literally feel like I'm dying. And to this day, we still don't know who or what was knocking on the windows. Absolutely terrifying, and I don't even know what the hell. That house has just got demons written all over it. That's what you get for getting Ouija boards and stuff, kids. Ghosts is what you get from Ouija boards and stuff. Okay, let's get on to the next question so we can stop being scared. Now, the next question is, where would you love to go on holiday? Now, I know a lot of people love the tropical places, the places that are all-inclusive. You can get fucking wasted on the beach, but I am not that kind of person. I don't like being out in the sun, I burn really easily and have very sensitive skin, and I just don't like being, drunk and feeling sick in the sun. That just doesn't sound like a good holiday to me. The place I would love to go is either like Scotland or Greece. Scotland has always been a place I've always really wanted to go because of the gorgeous hills. It just seems really nice and calm and really country and cottage, and my family is part Scottish, so we kind of have that in our blood. Maybe that's why I've always wanted to go. Who knows? But I think it would be fun, and it would be a little bit different than just doing the get a tan and come home kind of holiday. On top of that, I really like museums, I really like seeing architecture, I really like to see history. I'm kind of like that kind of holiday person, which a lot of people don't have fun on holidays with that holiday person, so let's get on to the next one. So the next question is, what is your hidden talent? Now, I have like mediocre hidden talents, which are singing and drawing. I'm actually just as good as singing as I am drawing, and it's not like I'm crazy, but I can draw pretty good, I can sing pretty good, I can carry a tune, and I can draw a pretty cool picture. Now, I've just been really interested in drawing and singing ever since I was really little, but I've never had any professional classes for either, so it kind of caps out at like high school, and when I was younger I went in singing classes when I was like 10, but that's where my learning capped out for both, so pretty mediocre, but a lot of people don't know I do either. So next question. So the next question is, what old person things do you do? So old person things I do is, I'm constantly cold, I go to bed super early and wake up super early, and I'm really tired all the time, so maybe I am just an old person. My hair's white.
It's all coming together, isn't it?
I fucking knew it.
Alright you guys, there's a couple more questions and then we're done getting to know each other. So the second to last question I'm going to ask is, what is your biggest fear? Now, I'm not going to go into psychological or life goals kind of fears, I'm just going to go in baseline surface level fears. Now, my biggest fear is irrational and I have no idea why I have this fear, but I'm terrified of whales. Yes, whales. I used to have so many nightmares about whales, and I still, if I see a whale, will almost like puke. They're so, just make me cringe. Now this is very funny because my mom fucking loves whales, and she always wants to go out and see orcas and stuff like that, and I just fucking cannot. They're just so big, it doesn't make sense. Why are they so big? Just stop being so big and scary. Like, I get you're graceful and you don't eat humans, but like, I could fit. If you just opened your mouth, I could fit. Like, it's just gross. Let me know down in the comments below if anyone out there is afraid of whales, because I've literally never met anybody else who is afraid of whales, and when I tell people I'm afraid of whales, they seem surprised. Like, they're not giant fucking monsters in the sea. Like, I'm sorry. It makes sense. So let's get on to the final question, you guys. And the last question I have for you guys is, what was the last book you read? Now for me, it was actually a trilogy of books. It was called the Gone series. I would really recommend this to anyone who likes true crime and things like that. It is not a true story, but it is very, very good and very, very interesting. I actually stumbled upon it because the first book was a free thing, and then I ended up buying a subscription to an app that lets you read any book you want. So then I finished the rest of the series. Now this book is about a girl who actually gets kidnapped, and this guy is trying to make her into his daughter. I don't want to ruin anything else for you because there's a lot of shit that goes on in those books, and I could say so much, but definitely recommend it to you guys if you guys are interested in true crime or just creepy stories or anything like that, something that's always pulling you in. Every page is something crazy going on, so I definitely recommend that to you guys. Or let me know if you guys have read it and if you guys like it, and maybe recommend me a book. All right, you guys, so we've made it to the end of the Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit. So don't forget to put your comments down below what your answers are, because I want to get to know you guys a bit too. So don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys. I'm going to be putting out some new fun content soon enough, so keep track of that. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.